Why is this healing? Damage. Why are they just continuing to defend? Once again, you plus 27 every second. What is happening?
They have people behind him, okay?
Sion can look TP. Sion can look TP right now.
Corki is dead. They are pushing, they are trolling here. They are trolling. Look, give me the attack. He wants to go.
It's fine.
He's dead.
Nice. Got that. He flashed.
And welcome back, I'm Laure, joined by Carzzy for the Marriott Bonvoy post-game check-in. Thank you, Carzzy, for joining me. Could have been a 3-0. Unfortunate incidents here.
It could have been, but we are playing for content and the 3-0 wouldn't change anything for the playoffs or anything like that, so...
Well, thank you for the fans, thank you for the content. Focusing on playoffs now, is there anything from Vitality that you want to leave in the past? Something you guys should stop doing to win games?
Our Nashor pushes were really bad, or whenever we were ahead, we would play like way too aggressive and our skill is not good enough to do this, you know, then we would throw. So that's something I would want to leave in the past and now have a clean game, at least like once per week.
You don't believe in your skill enough?
No, I do, but like multitasking, you know?
Multitasking, yeah, one thing at a time. Maybe you can do it later in the year. There's a video that I want to show you, Carzzy, from another game, Valorant. Happened in Valorant EMEA earlier last week. Let's check it out.
And a little birdie has told me, Safe, that you have a bit of a friendship with Carzzy. Is that true? How often do you interact with them?
I interact with Carzzy every other day. Make sure he gets his water, his food. You need to feed the dog, so...
Oh.
A nice relationship with teammates beyond the game here. Anything you want to tell him?
I mean, we have a really cute relationship together.
All right.
I mean, usually it's me who's like dominating him in the office, so I'm happy that he could bark back, you know, on the broadcast.
We're going to leave what happens in the office in the office. Thank you for sharing these words, though. We have Hylissang on the other side with Odo. We're going to review his best moments, his proudest moments in game, and his worst engages. Do you have anything to say to your support here?
I don't think the engages were so bad, so don't worry. It will be fine.
It will be fine. Control damage. Carzzy, thank you so much for the interview. Odo, take it away with Hylissang.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here with Hilly with, honestly, what better partner can you find for someone like Carzzy? But talking about engages, I would like to kick off with some of the uniquer angles that you've been finding this week. So for example, talking about engages, I feel like maybe this is one of the first times that I see a Rakan just engage with his body. So can you please walk me through what's happening here, Hilly?
Well, honestly, I think I should have died on if they played perfectly. I think if they connect the ults, I probably would die. But I don't know. I just like to challenge the enemy to show before they...
So you're skill checking them.
Yeah, I'm just telling them, like, I think you're alone. I don't see anyone behind you. But the Talia was right behind him, and I could die. But I was confident. I had Merc Trace, I was tanky, and even if they kill me, I feel like a fight could have happened for our team, where they have no spells, and Carzzy was much stronger than anyone.
And I guess on the same tone, it's something that might be very familiar to you. It's this game where you go on a little dance with Jackies. For me, it was, again, very interesting. I feel like you're just in everyone's head on the enemy team, because honestly, even when I play against you, I'm like, what is this guy doing? What are you doing? Why is he doing this? Because right now, it must be very confusing. I mean, for everyone who doesn't know, Corki is just around the corner here. And you're still having this dance with him.
So I was like, okay, this guy, like, there's something happening. Before the game, they were like, GX was like staring at me, and they were like, I don't know what was their preparation, but I feel like they were saying, like, this guy is going to go for every pink ward, just be there, like, punish him, he's going to int, you know? So I was just, like, I saw Corki first time, and I was like, okay, there is a wave, he should go catch the wave. Okay, he's not catching the wave, he's still waiting. Okay, there is no way after 20 seconds, he's still there. I check, he's still there, and then he chunks me, then Carzzy comes, and I'm like, okay, I want to go on this guy. And then Lina says, there's someone behind him for sure if he plays like this. And I'm like, okay, let's see it. Who is behind you, you know? And I just wanted to go on him and kill him.
Oh my God, I love it. And also on the topic of crazy engages, usually when you walk in situations like this, I want you to run me through, because a lot of time when people find this angle and they're outnumbered, they don't really still find these unique angles. But if you don't remember, it's your Rell game where you, well, I'm not gonna let the clips speak for itself. But right now, I think you're the only Rell or the only player who is getting caught, but somehow 3 seconds later, you're the one catching them. So can you please explain to me, how did you end up in this situation over here?
Okay, so funny story. I thought I was trying to stop the Ambassador TP. But the ambassador took the different pathing. She took the behind the Baron, and I thought she's in this bush. So when I went there, I was like, okay, I don't see the TP, I can't stop it. And we were just stronger than 2v2, so I was willing to die for cancel the TP. But then it was 2v2, so I was like, okay, just if they go on me, I have my Nyla here, like there is no way they win. So.
Okay, I love it. And also one of the final clips that I have for you is, it might be a little bit of a slow one because people just like kills in LEC, but right now you're going on a little trip over here and you somehow end up with full map control. So can you please tell me, how are you choosing this pathing to just go around the whole map and go on a marathon over here?
Okay, so you guys don't see it, but there is like ambassador right now, or like before the fight, when I was behind Baron, ambassador was behind them and flanking them. But unfortunately, Naku missed the ultimate, or they sidestepped it or something. So the fight would have been really good because Nak would have engaged on a guy without flash. I think it was Varus without flash. So he would die instantly, and I was ready to like go. But then he missed, so I was like the one that was.
So now you were just making space this whole time.
Yes, and then they helped me, and so I leave. If my team don't help me here, they just die. But my team loves me, so they help me.
Okay, but now for one that just has no excuse, you know. Can you tell me what's going on here before the casters take it away for this next game?
Nothing is happening. I just griefed. You know my top here says they was smited.
So it's his fault. Your top.
No, he says they was smited, and I keep going.
So
he tried to save me, but there was no hope. There was no hope.
I'm just gonna leave it there. There's just no saving him beyond this point, casters. Yeah, please share your thoughts on whatever Hyli just did just now.
I respect that he was upfront about it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he's a man that he knows what he wants.
He knows what he's about.
And he wants to go
And
ahead.
most of the time, there's a reason behind the play. But sometimes they are just goofs.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a cult of Hyli. Either you believe he's the smartest person alive or the dumbest inter.
Yeah.
And it's super hard to be... I feel like the truth is always somewhere in the middle. That sometimes he makes bad plays, sometimes he makes good plays.
I mean, the truth, yeah, it's the gray area. But I think that's too hard for most of us to process. So we just go to one extreme or the other.
So which one are you?
Oh, I'm a believer.
You're a believer now?
I'm a believer.
You were for sure a doubter at the start of the split.
I go back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But always in extremes.
Okay.
Depends. Right now, I'm a believer. He's the GOAT.
And now we got KOI against Rogue.
And this is going to be interesting, because another support who has been doing well up until the matchup yesterday was Alvaro, but MKOI
had a rough week.
I think you call it a stinky. They made a stinky.
Stinky week, yeah.
Yeah, stinky week. Jojo got solo killed in one game. Supa Alvaro got bodied in the game yesterday.
They had a tough one.
It has been just a messy week for KOI. Now, they're playing against Rogue, a team that is eliminated. They can try to get themselves higher positioning, but ultimately, KOI are pretty comfortable where they're at, right? So, this is a game where maybe we start to see a bit more spice, but now they've immediately locked first pick Corki, so I'm less convinced there will be spice. If that's a Varus, there's no spice.
I think they'll
spice-free zone.
Take this very seriously. I think there's a lot of pride involved. I think when you've had a rough week, losing to the worst team or one of the worst teams, it's like, it feels shameful nearly.
Yeah. Gotta show us more. Remind people how you made your way up to the top. KOI certainly hit the ground running this split with the new roster, but had some messy games.
It's going to be the Sinsa for Malrang here. I feel like it's the Ziggs just like that. Wow.
Ziggs for the bottom lane. So we are getting a little bit of spice.
We're getting a little bit of spice. I remember Supa played, I think, quite a bit of Ziggs Worlds last year. And I quite liked the Ziggs. It was pretty decent. And I think the idea behind picking the Ziggs here is just it allows you to have more freedom and flexibility in the top side department, because now you don't need to necessarily lock in an AP jungler or an AP top. You can just be fine with having only the Ziggs as a sole AP. And it's also a decent matchup into the Varus.
Certainly. Can be tricky, I think, against the Zen in some circumstances, but the Hextech Minefield is really nice. That thing lasts forever.
Yeah.
So easy to control space. You got Corki for poke on top of that. And of course, Ziggs remains the same kind of wave clear tower threat bot that he always has in pro play.
Now, a lot of teams, they favored Ziggs over the other mages just due to how good he is in swap scenarios. He also has a really weak level 1, as most mages do, against ADCs. So I could see KOI opting for the swap here, but they could also just decide to standard lane because Rogue answered with the Alistar, who also has an infamously weak level 1, so then they can just kind of handshake the level 1 and be fine.
Still just that race to level 2, always important, but something we'll watch. I hope no more swaps. I'm enjoying that we've seen.
Yeah, it's been nice
generally.
Seeing 2v2s and 1v1s. and seeing whatever Giant X just did last game.
Yeah, whatever. That was a... Showed us, you know, sometimes in order to know what you like, you have to see what you don't like. You need to understand both. You experiment. That level 1, I don't think we will see again.
I'm very curious to see, like, what does KOI decide to pull out in the top and jungle, because they have planned this Ziggs, which tells me that Elyoya probably doesn't want to play an AP jungler, although that is what Rogue is actually targeting with the Nidalee and the Lilia band. But if I'm Elyoya, I'm thinking that he's probably going to look for an AD jungler or maybe a mixed damage jungler instead.
I guess I really just don't want him to be able to outpace Malrang early. I guess that would be the argument against AP junglers. If he gets any kind of lead, obviously your clear speed shoots through the roof. But safe blind picks have been taken away. Cassante and the Poppy. Poppy, of course, already would be good into the composition. So Rogue might just blind pick their mid laner instead, leave open a counter pick for Adam.
And it should be the Corki mid lane, so they should be confident just picking whatever they think is best into that. The Viktor we haven't seen actually that much recently, but I think it's a really good matchup into melee mids. It started out actually as a counter pick into Lucian mid many years ago. And in general, it just has a really good trade pattern into these ADCs on mid lane. And I think it's a really good champion just stylistically for Larssen as well. He loves his control mages, and overall, shaping up to be a decent draft for Rogue.
I like what we're seeing. Good engage options with the Alistar, with the Xin together. Of course, if KOI are the ones who are forced to get aggressive, they'd be going face first into a Varus and the Viktor, which would be tough. But they have so much poke, I don't think they want to be the ones to start the fight.
Yeah, and KOI are opting for like kind of this full range comp with the Corki and the Jayce and Ziggs. And yeah, I could see this Sejuani being locked in just to give another body for these 3 poking champions and give some non-committal engage.
It's our favorite word of the week.
Yeah.
Committal engage, on the other hand, seems to be something that other teams are really excited about.
Another Sion. Maybe this is like a scrim thing. We haven't been seeing much Sion up until now, I believe.
I will say, based on that 1v1 on the top side of the map, the matchup looks pretty good.
But did it look useful outside of that?
No.
To be fair, it was a very hard Sion game.
Yes, and Ziggs is much less mobile. Like, this is a champion that will get caught out by a Sion.
That is true, and he also has way less DPS against the Sion. So I think it's a much better Sion game for Adam here. But if I'm Rogue, I would want Adam on a stronger counter pick that is more of a carry, because for me, he's been the shining star on this.
Red 5 Sion
doesn't feel the best.
Does not feel the best. But we saw it last game too, right? So
yeah,
some merit to it, at least in terms of how comfortable they are. Normally, this would always say lane swap, but based on the last game we saw, it might not be that case.
They could try the same strategy as Giant X did, where they go for this kind of crazy Sion invade, just 5-man bot, and then dive on the second wave. We'll see what they end up opting for, but I think they'll definitely try to do something level 1, as that's part of the strength of picking Sion.
That passive has ruined pro play in many moments in the past.
Yeah.
Farming camps.
But I feel like it's like 50-50 if it works out.
True. We'll see what side of the coin comes out now as we get into our second game. Our second game of the day. Our first and only second game of the day.
It's true.
Yeah. Another Corgi Chroma. We're mixing it up now.
Pink. I like it. It is going to be the lethality Varus here from Patrik, trying to match some of this range from KOI's composition. They do have decent DPS to kill the front line of KOI even with lethality Varus, so I like it.
Little note, I think the observers sit mid anytime this Corki skin is locked in, just to see if he's going to do the wiggle.
Did it a bit there, no? Or
No. He's got to spam the emote.
Oh, it's on the
We're
Viktor
waiting.
that's done it.
The observers know what the people want.
Viktor's trying to bait it, but
Jojopyun
Jojo's not doing it.
Won't do it.
Jojo, come on.
Give the people the wiggle.
Minions have spawned.
Give us the wiggle. Okay, all right, fine. It's a serious game. It's a serious game. You said it. They didn't have a great week. You know, gotta get that redemption.
He's locked in.
Lights have been turned off.
Yeah. It's Nocturne Hours.
Nocturne Hours on the sidebars.
So it is going to be actually a swap. What?
Well, you have the Sion. So I actually don't mind this. I don't mind this. You highlighted it already, right? Alistar level 1, pretty bad. Downside is, you have Varus top lane.
Yeah, I do mind
Ziggs is bot lane and is just going to eat plates.
I don't like it, because the biggest weakness of this Ziggs is his early game, and Ziggs is great at taking towers. So if they are able to pull off a dive on this Sion just once, Ziggs can absolutely melt through this tower incredibly quickly as it doesn't have any fortification.
Myrwn pushed away.
Did get all of the XP, I believe. I guess, as you say, Adam is more happy than Myrwn is. I can agree with you on that. I just, from a bot lane main perspective, it feels wrong.
It does feel really wrong to swap away from a Ziggs.
Yeah.
Fundamentally. Myrwn going to try something that we've seen have pretty underwhelming results, I will say, as we revert to the old school HUD here for a moment. You know, wandering through mid. Isn't going to stick around for too long, actually. I thought he might stick around for a bit of XP, but perhaps... I'm not sure if they're confident enough to go for the dive on the bottom side of the map.
I mean, it's actually ends up being pretty good for Rogue here, as Sion is just able to lane against his bot lane, while Jayce has to go on an adventure throughout the whole map. But it looks like they're going to try to 4-man this bot lane. And if they can kill him, they might be able to get quite a bit of plates.
Looking bot. Adam still has a ton of health, though.
Yeah, and he does have 2 lives. I think he might be able to clear the
whole wave. A lot
of
CC, though. They need to interrupt the Q to stop him from trying to clear the wave out. Flash back. Now starts to channel Q. Finally, a bit more CC coming down. Adam looks like he's going to fall. Well executed. Alvaro perfectly tanking the tower aggro. Adam will clear the wave. This is another strength of Sion. He gets to soak up so much of this XP, but the dive successful.
Yeah, so overall, I'd say a good dive from KOI here, but as you said, Sion is able to alleviate a lot of that advantage, but Ziggs has the TP, so he's able to TP into this top side and generate some tempo from KOI and kind of reclaim some of that lost CS over this lane swap. I think overall, though, it's still a positive outcome for Rogue, just in the XP and CS department.
Supa does get through the first few levels of the laning phase. The same is true for Execute, both the people who might have struggled at the level 1. But the dive is successful. Sadly, Sion is just, I mean, so good in lane swaps, right? He always is going to get XP. He's always going to get value, even if you are successful on the dive.
You can see the Sion has generated a 1-level advantage from this. Well, Malrang might look for something here. He's just going to complete the base. Patrik really needs to get this base off. And I think even if he does, he might lose a full wave from it. It's a good kind of collapse from KOI with this Supa TP that just allows them to recover a little bit the XP and CS that was lost.
Jojo waiting, seeing if he can get some more mana out of Larssen. Does look like he's going to opt to stick around as Supa. Short fuse nerfed, of course, in terms of damage to structures. So it isn't quite as impressive as it once was, but still powerful overall. As Elyoya has been caught out. The Frost Armor fades away. He's going to have to flash away. So the Decimating Smash cannot complete. Good heads-up look from the side of Rogue.
Yeah, and you can see this is Sejuani that hasn't went back to base yet. So she's so squishy compared to the Zhao that went double Ruby Crystal. Quite peculiar from Malrang here. Usually you stack some longswords, but he's getting tanky.
Heart Steal?
No way.
The return of Phase Rush Jarvan Maokai? Or Malrang, I called him Maokai.
Actually, in Malrang's last game, he just builds like the weirdest, most insane Ultimate Bravery looking ass build you've ever seen.
I mean, look, there are a lot of reasons I was excited about Malrang last time he was on Rogue, and his weird builds and Keystone choices was definitely one of them. Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
More likely he's building into one of the mini items that have multiple Ruby Crystals.
Probably.
Maybe just a Sundered Sky.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Jojo.
Plan, trying to get a bit of wave control here. Early MR for the matchup. See if he full commits to the Hex Drinker or if it is just some Merc Treads.
You can see that everything is kind of stabilized after this lane swap. The only thing that's really kind of lasted from it is the XP lead on Adam. He just hit level 6 while Myrwn is still quite far away from it. And they might be able to leverage this Adam 6 to get priority on the grubs.
Was it a are they going to do the reverse Sion play? Normally it was Sion backs at level 6 and then ult bot, but he was already bot. So is he backing and then going to ult top?
He might.
Rogue definitely in a good position.
Myrwn does have TP, so he could join her before the Sion.
Yeah, but the Sion has ulti, so he's going to get there pretty quick as well. New TP is really slow.
That's true, but it's hard to ult through jungle. He's got a drift. Elyoya is kind of zoned here.
Why did that just sound like the start of a Fast and the Furious film? There's no way he has to drift. He has to drift. He doesn't have to drift anymore. All right, spectator moment from KOI. Not what we generally like to see.
Patrik?
Patrik just walking up. Malrang.
I mean, they do deny one wave here on top from Patrik.
Ulti back to bot lane.
See the drift.
Drifting. Okay, didn't really have a chance to drift.
Well, you got far at least. But so it's going to be grubs given for one wave denied. But it was kind of strange that they decided to just watch them do the grubs, but they are still able to get first access to this Drake here. It's going to be a relatively normal cross map as we've seen here in the LEC.
Maybe hoping to find an exit kill or two. Maybe hoping Rogue will be sloppy on the retreat and that they can get more. Ultimately, it does not happen as Adam does not have ulti. Remember, did ulti back to lane. Will be locked up. Chain CC is good there. Myrwn trying to keep the chain going, but Elyoya the one in trouble. Will get taken down 1-for-1 thus far. Myrwn needs to run. Adam, very fast boy, but they want to keep the play going on to Malrang. Jojopyun on the way in, taking a bit of damage from the zombie sign, but it might not matter. Malrang running, doesn't have level 6, and he's going to get dropped down.
And you can see that this comes a lot from KOI's hesitancy on the grubs, that Rogue is actually able to contest, but it's Jojo with the mid prio, able to move first, that salvages the play. I think if the roles were reversed here and Larssen could actually move, this would be the comeback play for Rogue.
And this is what happened in the top lane while that play was happening. Supa able to get this kill at the cost of Alvaro's life.
Let me see here. He is secured. I mean, it was clean. It's clean 2v2 play by Alvaro and Supa. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, so it doesn't feel too bad for the side of Rogue, but the kill goes over to Ziggs, and overall, having an early lead as this mage in the early game feels pretty damn good.
Yeah, early lost chapter, first item completion going to be big, and of course, just infinite push. Patrik caught out, the cleanse. Not going to do much here. Supa missing the first bomb. Will get knocked back into the minefield. Well played here. Backstep on the ulti 2. A second kill to follow the through. Patrik overconfident.
Yeah, and Patrick's had a rough
It's been a rough split.
Yeah. And I think face checking has been the name of the game for him. As he does it again here and ends up falling down. This might be full tower for KOI. They don't have any grubs, but they do have the demolish. We got the TP from Sion here to salvage it, luckily. And they're actually using this as an opportunity to swap. But as I talked about earlier, getting gold on the Ziggs makes it a lot harder for this Viktor and Varus especially to play later on. That's all it takes is one.
Oh, combo good. Jojo does manage to Valk out, crucially. Merc treads, paying dividends.
Yeah, and Jojo's having a good game. Able to keep up with Larssen on this mid lane, even when Larssen got the counter pick.
I mean, got out of lane and got bot to get the kill without falling behind in CS. I think that's big.
Just kind of keeping prio and staying strong. Even surviving ganks. Tanking pressure.
It won't be Heartsteel for the Zen.
It will not be Heartsteel.
Which is correct.
Has he built weirdly once?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
He's a changed man. Execute locked up. The initial stun does not connect, but that's a level 5 Alistar. He gets the headbutt pull, a good amount of damage, but there's no follow-up. Execute will drop.
And Rogue are able to get the Drake, but they're getting caught out on the map. First Patrik and now Execute. And KOI are just building and building this gold lead.
Yeah, the Ziggs 700 gold ahead. Now has the Hextech Revolver.
The Ludens, you mean, no?
Ludens, yeah, excuse me.
That's the crazy Ludens, yeah. Oof.
I mean, this is
tough for anyone to lane against him right now.
Larssen may be the best option, but even then, Viktor, a lot of the ability is so short range, right? You're just kind of E poking versus Q poking. But Myrwn sidesteps, waiting on the E until he says the Q come out. It looks like might not get the opportunity. However, decimating smash comes down.
Jojo.
Myrwn taken out. Jojo getting involved in the party. Wants to get the kill back on Adam. One more auto does it. That was completely unhinged.
And I mean, Jojo tries to save Myrwn here, but you don't have numbers on this side of the map. Elyoya was in base, and Ziggs was on bot with no TP.
Sorry.
This is going to be 6 grubs for Rogue here. Unless KOI wants to contest 3v5, 3v4.
Level 6 for Execute. Hex Flash is traded. Supa can do a decent amount of damage. Does have ulti. TP back to the top side from Myrwn.
Yeah, they're going to salvage it. They're able to get 2 grubs. I don't think... Oh, Larssen? Oh, is he not going to... I thought he was going to E to try to steal it. I think he...
Hex Flash.
Oh.
Execute. Q. Ulti. Too late. Ulti doesn't have enough health. Damage mitigation not enough. Elyoya wants to keep this one going. Instant ult onto Larssen. Larssen about to get locked up once again. Does manage to throw it on the ulti. Alvaro might fall. And he does.
And Rogue looks so disjointed and KOI are punishing beautifully. But they get 1 grub, so they have 4 grubs. And I think to myself, okay, they're happy. But then Larssen kind of wants to contest it, and so does Execute. But Malrang is sitting in the middle of top push, wanting to look for a cheese after they're going to drop the grubs. And they're just all on different pages. And I feel like that's been the story of Rogue this split.
It certainly has. I think it's where we see those moments where individual players are caught out is either information isn't getting communicated, something is going awry for a team that has had a lot of strong individual moments and just has not been able to transition that into wins.
And I really think for Rogue, you need to put Adam on more of a playmaker, more of a carry, because for me, he's been the most consistent player on this roster, and I think putting him on Sion is just setting yourself up for failure.
Execute. Taking his time, the auto comes down, a bit of poke onto Myrwn.
And it's a good chunk, but they got the top tower in 12 minutes. This is an incredibly fed Ziggs, and the problem now is if KOI are able to get this top deep push, they can just rotate into mid, get the mid tower, do the same on bot tower, and they can quickly get all of these outer tier turrets, as that's what Ziggs really excels at.
And they're already almost 3,000 gold ahead without knocking down those other two outer towers.
It's going to be hard steal on Elyoya. Well, that's pretty normal.
I argued about it. Me and Yike might have had a heated argument.
Beefed it.
We might have beefed it out.
Might have thrown some punches.
He made some strong arguments. I think the thing that swung me to the side of Heartsteel is that Giant's Belt is just a hilariously broken item early, and building two of them feels really good. So that much I get. It's dopamine of double Giant's Belt into Heartsteel.
Well, would you say it's dopamine if it's just like strong? Isn't it just then that it's strong?
Yeah. You feel strong and it is strong. I guess you're right. I guess that just makes it strong.
Yeah. Because when you say it's dopamine, it makes it sound like the player's kind of stupid and it's just like it feels good for him.
Okay, well that was... Okay, I see the error of my ways now. Thank you for helping me reflect, Mr. Spectra.
No problem. Do better.
Okay, all right, we're not casting my life right now. We're casting League of Legends, but I appreciate you.
We got the Drift King here on bot lane.
Did I bill you for therapy? How does this work? Anyway, who's coaching who in our dynamic? That's the real question. Jojopyun just going to instantly delete this wave.
It's going to be a pretty... Alvaro?
Supportal combat?
Yeah, supportal combat a bit.
Elyoya getting involved, rude.
I think Execute might be the one in trouble. It's going to be fine. So what KOI really want to do here is try to get this top deep push and then have Myrwn rotate to mid and then try to siege onto this mid tower. And I do have Myrwn moving, and this is actually the full AD poke Jayce. So all they need is really one EQ, just like that.
I mean, we're going to be in a similar situation where Execute probably gets one combo and an ulti off, but may just die right after.
On the bright side though, you do have the lethality Varus, and you know what he's great at?
Clearing mid wave.
Yeah, so it's hard to get that mid tower.
Is that still true when he has Swifties and...
we got to dive on Adam.
Gonna try to lock up Adam. Does manage to get a decent Q off, but it is not going to matter. Unending Despair will provide no healing. Myrwn caught out on the top side. An even trade, but the tower falling now in favor of MKOI. And Rogue not really in a position to take that one down, so KOI happy to have the momentum advantage, using the strength of that Ziggs to knock it down quickly, and we'll just start the next objective.
I think Rogue are able to get this top tower on this wave, so it is just going to be like one tower for tower and a Drake for KOI, unless...
If KOI continue...
I mean, I think Execute and Patrik should be careful here. Kind of fake pressuring a little bit, but Jojo?
Patrik instantly ults. Well-layered CC this time around. Jojopyun still does a shitload of damage, and Patrik does not do any damage! Oh, that's a feels bad.
Yeah. I mean, Patrik misplaced the combo there a little bit on the Varus. He starts off with E instead of ulting, so he doesn't get the Blight cooldown refund as fast as he'd like. But I think even if he plays it properly, it's just... He's too far behind Dracos. He just gets murdered by this
level
Corki.
11, Corki Trinity Force has the extra HP, has the extra bit of MR to mitigate some of the Blight stack damage. Yeah, it's...
That's mid-tower for KOI, and that really blows this game open, as now they can get deep mid-prio and move to side lanes. Let's see his top lane.
Myrwn one-shots away, maybe doesn't know that Malrang is there, but regardless, delays the push.
They did a lot of damage. I didn't think they could just one-shot him. But that's kind of what happens when you play this full AD Jayce. You're very, very squishy. They're trying to overload on bot side here and get this tower, but they do have TP on both Supa and Myrwn.
TP back to mid lane from Supa, so at least one of those accounted for, but still 4 members committed here from the side of Rogue.
And KOI here, they just want to buy time. Beautiful cancel there from Jojo onto the Sion. He wants to look to cancel the Sion again, but Larssen is body blocking the Corki rockets. But,
Gauge onto Malrang. Just a bit of poke. Again, the play really is happening on the top side. They hear the ulti of Sion. They know the back is completed. Now instead they'll try to engage bottom side knowing that they have the 4v4 and the gold advantage. I think good recognition of when they need to go and when they need to pull back from the side of KOI. Rogue also very aware, slowly retreating.
Beautiful rotation here by Myrwn. They're just going to play 2 lanes now, mid and bot, and might look to poke them out to get either bot or mid tower. Or they're just going to recall. Never mind. I thought they could play for bot tier 2, but they're going to think better of it. And they're just going to take the bases.
But a good sequence.
Yeah.
Push top, the second you hear the Sion, now you can get aggressive bot lane, taking their time, playing with respect for what Rogue's composition can do, despite the gold lead that they have.
Yeah, they're denying a lot of waves, and they're getting a lot of damage on various towers.
Now, the strong point for Rogue right now is Malrang, 4-1-0, 1.2k individual gold lead. Maybe he can be a factor in the coming fights. Larssen also at level 12 will do a decent amount of damage on top of that. Doesn't quite have 2 items, but overall 1.1k, 1.6k for mid and 80 carry on the side of KOI. Means they're sitting pretty comfortable in this game.
Yeah, and it's going to be the Rift Herald just going over to KOI. I mean, I think what what Rogue really needs is a numbers advantage fights. I think that cross-mapping is the right idea, but the problem is that when you're playing against Ziggs, he just takes towers so damn fast that it's really hard to really cross-map against them without losing a lot of resources yourself. But the Sion is great at wave clearing, so they do got that going for them.
It's true, and that's Q cooldown. Very, very short. Take multiple members to stop him. But here's the Herald, instantly used. Because mid lane is already open, or mid lane is already open, this is so nice because it's such an easy decision.
Oh, they
but
didn't
instead,
even need the Herald. Oh.
The real Drift King. The real Drift King.
Oh?
It wasn't Adam.
Oh my god.
It was Alvaro all along. Where's he going?
No way, he hits it.
He can't do it.
No
one
way.
can drive the bus this good.
Oh!
He can drive the bus this good! Okay, well, that was actually pretty terrible.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That was awful. Oh, no. Oh, no.
He got caught in the
no.
sauce. He got caught in
That
the
was
sauce.
the coolest play I've ever seen right up until it was objectively inting, and then it was inting.
That was Hylissang in a nutshell. See? Like, imagine if you're only, like, if you're locked in like that,
The difference
you don't
was-
see the int until it's suddenly
The
too
difference
late.
was in the Hylissang play. That Herald had like 500 health.
What
This was full health.
It was full HP, no?
No, no.
Oh,
in the
you mean
Hylissang play.
Hylissang?
In the
No, no, no.
Hylissang.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the action, the excitement. You feel like you're the GOAT. Drifting.
I mean, it was the Drifting Goat.
Yeah.
It was just...
But then suddenly you're at 1v5.
Yeah, the Drifting Goat title doesn't make your character tankier.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the enemy team run away in fear. Just means you can glide the
It
Herald
knocks them up, though.
almost into the... It does. Bit of damage onto Patrik, which you can see is really stuck.
That darn red buff, huh?
That darn
Healing
red
him
buff.
back up. If only. But it's still a pretty comfortable gold lead here for KOI.
Yeah, I don't think that Alvaro's hurt.
You're gonna need a few more Drift King Alvaro plays like that.
That's the only one we're going to get this game, though.
Well, he might decide to drift without the Herald.
Without the Herald? Again.
He's doing an overdrive.
That's your moment. That's your Fast and Furious moment. There's no
I
way.
never watched Fast and Furious.
No one's ever drifted without a Herald. Really, the beautiful thing about them is that they're pretty much all tropes, so you don't actually need to watch any of them. If you've heard jokes about the movies, you've basically seen the movies.
Fair enough. We got the Octagon start here from KOI and TP in from Adam. You're going to try to enter through this Tribush choke, but I think that's a mistake. You should try to enter through mid, through open space.
I think it's too late to enter through mid. They don't have enough time. 8K. Adam has to pull the trigger and just go.
Myrwn zoning here well. Oh, they're just
Pushing.
dropping it.
Oh, this is such a conservative choice. Maybe they get tier 1, but losing Otacon here is devastating.
They're not even going to get tier 1. They're going to try to get the Drake, but KOI have a top wave here that they're going to look to play with. Jojo might look to all-in Larssen on this wave. Let's see what Larssen can do here.
Rest of the team on the way. Valk forward does put him in a bit of an awkward spot. Not too awkward because he has the false life buff. Dragon, in the meantime, a pretty meager consolation prize, but it does slow MKOI's Drake stacking. Not that they were in too good of a position. Maybe an out for Chemtech Soul as Jojo will break the tower. Execute. Decent combo. Alvaro caught out. Shattering Strike locking up a few members. Alvaro will fall again, but it's the false life, so just 200 gold even back to the side of Rogue, and doesn't really put a dent in the 5.5k difference between the teams. Flash back. Good ulti from Patrik. Myrwn doing a decent amount of damage back in the meantime. Supa locked up, but nobody can follow up. Rogue getting one, but it's just the withdrawals. The bomb going to take Supa over the wall into Patrik.
Supa!
He just one-shots
Oh my god!
Oh, that feels bad. False life, back to base. A fake kill for a real kill.
But
2 real kills.
Was that a good usage of the Atakan from KOI? I feel like it wasn't, no? They got top tower and they got mid tower, but they gave over...
They opened up top lane inhibitor.
They gave over 800 gold in the false lives. I guess it's not that bad. And they got 2 kills.
Yeah.
This Atakan buff is pretty OP.
It's pretty OP. And I think...
and they still have it on
It's
Corki.
not just dopamine, it's actually strong. So
yeah.
Learned.
And now it's like... They have crazy tempo advantage as well, so they might even be able to play for tier 2 bot. But I really like this play from Adam and Execute. Just recognizing that like Jojo is really low and just trying to pull the trigger based on it. But the Supa does so much damage here. He's
I mean, tiny windows. This should just be like in an even game state.
Him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dunks on his head.
Oh no. This is an all-star game moment. That's not what you want to be seeing. You don't want to be getting styled on like
on
that.
stage. Oh. Wait, Jojo? Oh, he has the false life.
He still has the buff.
So he does shrunk them down now. Let's see if they can get a tower off of this. But Adam's smart here.
Adam already lowering the health on the wave. No Baron here.
The bot wave is coming. Maybe they'll be able to get play for the tier 2 bot here. Larssen wants to clear the wave, but he's alone.
Just a few more autos. I mean, Supa, you can see. Short fuse still. Decent cooldown, so.
They're going to have to play with one more wave, but it's quite far away. But they do win the sustained poke war, so they can't kind of just stay here and just bide their time.
That wave is very far away, however. Larssen's going to back. Heal up.
Got some rogue chants in the crowd. Or
Those are KOI chants. Those are KOI chants.
I thought it was like a rare rogue chant.
In your defense, it's quite hard to hear. We just there's noise and approximation of words. On stream, they can hear you perfectly.
Can we get a rogue chant? Rogue. Rogue.
Oh man, you're not allowed to laugh at that. That's rude.
I laughed at your reaction.
What do you mean my reaction?
You were smirking.
I didn't smirk.
You gave me a smirk.
You have no proof of that. Only TikTok feed can see that. Here we are.
Let's go, Rogue fans. How will we win this one? I'm for 7k gold down. We're gonna need a great execute engage or another Adam great ulti.
A possibility.
I mean, Larssen and Malrang are both. Oh,
execute. Knock back. Malrang can do a little bit of work here. Adam on the way up, but on the back half of this play, Elyoya has no ulti. Execute. He's tanky, but he's not tanky enough. Supa now unstoppable.
That might be what broke the camel's back. As they can siege on this mid tower.
Now you're so serious.
I mean, there's Nash up in 25. Execute will be up for it, but he will be late.
Nash is the last, I think, bastion of hope. If you steal a Nash, because I don't think you can fight for the Nash.
Yeah. I mean, KOI's Nash damage isn't the fastest. So they could try to play for a fight if they're able to have the Nash kind of chunk them down.
If you steal a Nash, Rogue can buy more time and scale. I mean, Viktor is going to be a problem long term.
Yeah, Viktor and Zhao for me are the two champions that are like actually strong enough to kill people. So if they can, like, if the rest of the team can set up a fight for them to shine, things are definitely possible. But they're gonna need a lot of good things to happen.
It feels very similar to our first game. I mean, very different in terms of how we got here, but we're in a similar state as we were in our first game of the day, which is that one team is winning very commandingly, and the circumstances by which the other team comes back require some creative thinking.
Yeah. It's good Adam here is just buying some space though, deciding to drop this top wave. Just to, oh, Patrik.
Not gonna get caught up here, but that's ulti down. Elyoya really does not take much damage. Execute drops again. Oh, now the follow-up engages here. Patrik isolated, caught out. A bit more money to the side of MKOI as yet another member falls. They might not even need the Baron. Malrang supposed to be the strong member. Larssen finding the first kill. Ulti doing decent damage here. We'll get a bit of extra money from the Raptors as well. But Baron is up and in the sights of KOI.
Yeah, and you can see that this rogue bot lane is just so weak. It's so hard to really do anything. He lands all his spells, but the damage is just not there. And now it's a Viktor without ultimate. I don't know if Rogue can contest this, Dracos.
Lock up there from Adam, instant ult. The satchel does come down though to free him, to get them away.
To get them off the Nash.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Costs them Adam's flash, not ideal.
Silent flash not that important at least. And there is a top wave pushing into Rogue here, so someone's gonna have to go catch that before the inhib drops. You see the replay here, and It's a bit of a shaky engage there from Elyoya onto Patrik, but even though he lands the ultimate onto Elyoya and the empowered Q, the damage is really not there, and he does actually flash the Rell flash engage, but it doesn't matter. And Zhao kind of knocks the Rell back on top of him, which was a unfortunate sequence of events.
Yeah. Not quite on the same page, not quite connected. And this is the point where it's rough because, I mean, lethality Varus just does not scale super gracefully.
Yeah. Viktor does have 3 items though, with the Rabadon. He's going to be pumping now with Void Staff as well. If he can get that level 16, could do some work for sure.
I mean, you can see how much damage his ulti does do. We'll need more than just that, I think, to win a fight.
And KOI has no Drakes, so they're going to have to end with this Nash for sure. If they play their cards right, can get one, I think, like, have the opportunity for one comeback team fight.
It'll still be tough. Still a tall task, but you highlighted. As long as Larssen doesn't get caught, there's a glimmer, a sliver, just a little bit of hope here.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's still very much a game in favor of KOI, as they just have all of their champions are so strong. You can see a 2,000 gold lead on the support department.
Which, reminder, Rogue are locked out of playoffs, KOI are locked in. But KOI had a really rough week, so the diligence that they're playing this are a reflection of, I think, recognizing how bad those first 2 days went.
Oh my god, Supa damage onto Malrang there. He is pumping.
He is pumping.
With the enhanced sword shoes as well, he just has so much percentage pen that no amount of MR really saves the side of Rogue.
I mean, he does also only have Merc Treads, so there's not a lot of amount of MR.
That's true.
A lot of HP, though. Maybe it's enough. Oh, miss.
Alvaro on a flank here. Oh.
Alvaro. Oh, that was a good engage. Sion ulting out. Execute. Giving his body to create space for the rest of the team. May still burn to the Ignite. He will drop to Alvaro.
It's going to be just one kill for KOI here. Looks like they want to go for Nash as well. They have double TP on Corki and Jayce. But I think Rogue are in a decent position to contest this. They do still have the ulti of Viktor, which I think is the most important.
Jojo poked.
Oh, really good cancel there by Patrik. I think this can be scary for KOI here.
Adam can also just pretty confidently face check. Myrwn on the side, though.
They're going to think the better of it. They're going to get off the Nash, just take the bases, and set up the map once again.
But Rogue, this is the second time in a row they've stopped the Nash from happening.
Yeah. And this is one of the side effects of having this mage bot lane. Oh, Patrik's got
instant engage. Patrik caught out. 4 stacks. Gonna get taken down here. Malrang likely to follow. This might just be the Baron or the game. Lockdown coming in. Malrang nowhere to go. That's the shutdown execute next. Larssen doing what he can to hold on. Ulting just to clear the wave to hold on to some vestige of hope, but it just doesn't matter. They don't even need it. The tower falls to the satchel charge. Top lane open. Inhibitor up. They can push the wave in. They might just end it here.
And KOI are going to get everything here. They can get the 2 inhibs. They can choose to either try to end, or they can choose to go for Nash. Depends on how frisky they're feeling here. It looks like they want to play it safe. Oh, or maybe.
Follow up. Larssen, good flash. Down for quite some time. Adam also ulting the Unstoppable, keeping him safe. Rogue, I mean, say what you want from Rogue. You will pry wins from their cold, dead hands. This is not a team who rolls over. They'll fight every step of the way.
Yeah. That bot lane KD ain't looking too nice. They're struggling.
It is a struggle.
Now let's see what happened to Patrik here. Oh, he's recalling on a ward. Oh, no, Patrik. My beloved.
It's a toughie. And it's rough, right? I mean, this isn't the moment that decides the season, but there have been 3 or 4 of these moments where Patrik has been the member to be caught out in what felt like avoidable circumstances.
Yeah. It's been a rough split for I think all of the Rogue members.
Yeah.
You kind of have to feel some, for me at least as a pro player myself, and he's caught out again.
Some degree of empathy.
Oh, he has to flash. Yeah, you have to feel some empathy.
You can't say that while laughing.
Well, I mean, it's too comedic, no? I'm talking about Patrik getting caught and he gets caught. Come on.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's not.
Yeah, as a pro player myself, I struggled, and I know how it can be, right? So I think sending them, like, they should know. I think Patrik knows that him getting caught is bad. You don't need to tell him that him getting caught is bad. So showing love to the players rather than pointing out the obvious helps create a more positive community that is a better environment to be both a pro and a fan, in my opinion.
Flashback to you laughing 2 seconds ago.
Well, you can still laugh. Bringing comedy into all aspects of life is good.
Yep. We'll see if there are any comedic angles here for KOI on the closeout.
I think it should be a pretty
Malrang.
clean end here, unless Malrang... Oi!
Going over the wall, looking to lock up Myrwn. It's a good combo. The Jayce should just get one popped here. Takes a bit of time, but they get the first kill. Supa and Jojopyun untouched, but
Alvaro.
Larssen locked out. Good start from coming in from Elyoya. Larssen just gonna get one shot. The heart steal Sejuani with red buff. Might be enough to finish the kill. Larssen finally getting dropped down. Initially it looks so good. One more kill coming back. Elyoya manages to live. And that's gonna do it. The Baron goes down.
Alvaro, what a beautiful engage there. I love the creativity from Malrang. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to have the second hit of his Q be on the plant, so that he immediately got the third hit onto Jayce, which knocked him up, but it's just too little, too late, and KOI are taking the Nexus home.
Credit to KOI. Outplayed, outmatched. We will see them a week break, and then they'll be here in playoffs. Rogue, it'll take a bit more time, hopefully. They can regroup, refocus, but today is a day for KOI. A bit of redemption here in what was a pretty rough week 3.
Yeah, a good bounce back wing. They just played it slow and steady. They had the game in their hands, I think, throughout the all stages of the game.
Certainly did. Vote for your key, the player of the game, at LEC on X, Elyoya, Jojopyun, or Supa.
I think Alvaro for me, but
really? Elyoya, on that last play, Elyoya just solo zoned the Viktor out of the fight completely.
Maybe Elyoya, yeah.
I'm not sure either, though. Because I didn't even see the Alvaro thing you were talking about. I was watching.
He got a 3-4 man.
I
Rell
just saw
engage.
the Viktor get zoned. Look, we were focusing on different things.
Fair enough.
Well played to KOI. See them again in playoffs.
Oh.
Impressive, impressive stuff. Of course, we will see Rogue bowing farewell. A heartbreaking way to end the split, but we will see them again in spring, and we'll just hope that they're able to come back stronger, more focused for the split ahead, for best of 3s. After the break, we're going to hear from Myrwn on whether or not he is fearless about fearless drafts. So don't go anywhere, because I think, spoiler, he's probably pretty fearless.
Yeah, I think he's going to be comfortable.
Wait, is he switching lanes?